Hi everybody. Welcome to this video. Welcome to a snippet into my mind. Welcome to this little journey that I'm going on and the things that I'm discovering, the things that I'm learning. Just welcome to that entire mind boggling experience that I'm going to take you guys on. So welcome. You are welcome here. And today, the journey that I'm going to go through is friendship. And I want to do this video again as well, a part 2 with somebody else, probably one of my friends, just so that, you know, I'm also have somebody else that we can speak to, that we can bounce off of each other, share information, because I think that's really important when discussing friendship, because I mean it's an exchange, you know, like it's not just something that I'm doing by myself. But anyway, yeah, like I just wanted to start off with the way that we view friendship it's not great. I think a lot of us don't know what it actually means to be a friend. That's why a lot of us struggle in our friendships. That's why a lot of us have so much misplaced trust in friendships. That's why most of us have been hurt before, and then we use that experience of that pain that we've had to sort of change our view and our outlook on the way that we now view friends that we'll have in the future, or people that we meet. We just don't trust very easily. And most of what I'm going to be speaking about, I'm going to bring it back to the Bible, because for me, the Bible is my self-help book. You know, it's not a self-help book, but it is my self-help book in the sense of it helps me to understand who I am. It helps me to understand relationships with other people and how to interact with other people. And if anybody's ever told you that the Bible, it's outdated, it's this man-made thing that's just made to enforce the patriarchy, listen, I'm here to tell you that the Bible is a life book. You know, it is a life book that contains truth. And if you actually read into it, don't look at things on the surface, you'll be able to find that it will help you in understanding how to live a healthy life. So, Jesus in John chapter 15, verses 13 to... I'm just going to read from 13 to 14. It says, "Greater love has no one than this, than to lay down one's life for his friends. And you are my friends if you do whatever I command you." And I just think this is so interesting, because it's like, when you look at it, greater love has no one than this, than to lay down one's life for his friends. Okay. No one is willing to lay down their life for their friend. That is the world that we live in, where you hear something like that and you're thinking, lay down one's life for my friend? I wouldn't even do that for some of my family members. What do you mean lay down my life for my friend? What has my friend done for me? You know, like, and it's so interesting that knowing the way that God works, knowing the fact that his wisdom has nothing to do with the wisdom that we understand when it comes to this world, it's so contradictory. It's so funny that, like, you know, now I've understood that. It's so funny that, like, you know, that he would say something like that, that Jesus literally would say, greater love has no one than this, than to lay down one's life for his friend. Because in the world now, no one's willing to die for their friends. No one's willing to go above and beyond. And it's like, just going into that and thinking more about it, it's like, what does that actually mean? Greater love has no one than this. And you know, when you look at the biblical definition of love, most of it is action based. Most of it, it's you doing something. You know, you're not righting any wrongs. You're not boasting. You know, it's so selfless. You know, the actual love, what love means, it is you basically looking outside of yourself. And because you're looking outside of yourself, you're no longer looking inwardly. So it's making you selfless. If I'm looking and I have a friend and I'm looking at their needs, I'm looking at their problems and their issues, and I'm placing their problems, whatever they've got going on, above myself and whatever I may have going on, am I not loving in the definition of the Bible? Like, you know what? Let's even look at the Bible, okay? Because I could just ramble on and on, because yeah, I have the freedom to do that. Yeah, this is my platform and I have the freedom. But no, let's actually read it. It's in Corinthians, 1 Corinthians chapter 13, starting from verse 4. So love suffers long and is kind. It doesn't envy. Love does not parade itself. It is not puffed up. It does not behave rudely. It does not seek its own. It is not provoked. It thinks no evil. It does not rejoice in iniquity, but rejoices in the truth. It bears all things. It believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. But love doesn't fail. And I think we've all heard that before, that saying, love doesn't fail. But the thing is, it does. It fails a lot. It fails a lot and a lot and a lot, because most of us don't know what true love actually means, because we probably never experienced it. And that is the reason why love always fails for a lot of us. But it's like saying here in the Bible that these are all doing words. You know, the fact that it's suffering long, the fact that it's kind, the fact that it's not envious. It's not talking about your feelings. It's not talking about the fact that you have butterflies in your stomach and you feel giddy and happy whenever you see this particular person, or whenever you're around a certain group of people, or whatever, right? Or whether you've been gifted something. No. This is actions. So someone is demonstrating their love rather than you feeling love works. So someone is demonstrating their love, right? So it's like, for a lot of us, it's like we've probably never experienced a friend that has actually done the things that are here being described. Because it's like, if Jesus is saying that greater love than this, than to lay down one's life for a friend, and he's now describing this love that he's mentioned, and he's now saying that, you know, it suffers long, it is kind, it doesn't envy, it doesn't parade itself, it's not puffed up, it doesn't behave rudely, does not seek its own. I think if I had a friend that was loving me like that, I would lay down my life. No, for real. Like, most of us haven't even experienced like a lot of the, imagine like this person, and they're able to do all of those things. Like, listen guys, I want you guys to go and read 1 Corinthians chapter 13 from verses 4 through to 7. Read that. Tell me if you experience someone that does all of those things. Are you not going to lay down your life? First of all, do you not believe that they would lay down their life for you as well? I'm sure that person is laying their life down as well as how much you're laying your life down, if you're also reciprocating and doing the same thing. Because that's the thing. This is where it becomes an issue. People feel as if I'm putting so much more in, and it's like this is me putting all of my effort, and I'm not being matched. But the effort of the other person is still here, whereas I'm increasing, and it's like, okay, now I need my effort to decrease, so now we become on a level. Fair enough. We're looking at the definition of friendship extremely too loose, when friendship actually means more. You wouldn't just be willing to lay down your life for just anybody, and neither is Jesus expecting you to, because Jesus is savior to all of mankind, right? He came down to save every single person. He loves every single person on this earth. Every single person. But yet, not everybody's his friend. Isn't that interesting? Yeah. I mean, he did say, my friends are those that do what I have commanded them to. So here we see again, It's not feelings, it's people doing things. And it's like, it can be so, don't you think it's so easy if we just placed love and friendship as just feelings and just, like, I called you a friend because you made me feel nice. And that's the problem. That's the problem that a lot of us are facing. And like I've said, I want to do a part 2 on this, and I want to also discuss it with my friend, because we were actually having a conversation about this, and there's some really interesting points that she made that I'd love for everybody to also hear and to experience as well, because even talking about my own experiences, because this is something that I'm also learning. Like, I'm still learning this whole aspect of friendship, because I want to be a better friend to my friends. I want to be a better friend, but then I also want to really look at the meaning and definition of friendship, so that who I'm being a better friend to. I love all people, by the way, because Jesus commanded me to love all people, but not everybody can be my friend. And it's not because I'm this perfect person that everybody just has to be friends with. Like, I'm cool, and I'm straight. But I just have learned that I have to be careful about who it is that I'm calling a friend, and not because I'm being skeptical or I'm just wary of every single person, or is this person going to do me dirty? Is this no. I also know how much effort and how much of me I have to be putting aside in order to maintain friendships, that I need to be careful about, just not, it's like, because I want to be a good friend to the friends that I have, and I want to put the effort in, I can't just open myself up to every single person to be able to do that, and I love all people, like I said, because Jesus commanded me to. This is not an obliviousness, because as if I believe that it's easy to love all people. It's not easy to love all people, but Christ makes it easier, because look what he did on the cross, right? So how can I not love people? But it's just interesting when you're looking at friendship and you're looking at the meaning, and what I've begun to sort of understand for myself as well is because of my faith, because of my journey with Christ, because of understanding and getting to know him more, and the effort that it actually takes for me to get to know Christ. I have to read my Bible, I have to be in my word, I have to be praying and communicating and speaking to him consistently as well. It is an effort that I'm generating. I can't just stand here and say, Jesus, I love you, and it's like, okay, but what's the evidence? I love you, but what's the proof? Proof is in the pudding, but where the pudding at? So I need to evidence my love. So how I've been looking at friendship as well, even for the people that I am friends with, that I do consider friends, I've just been looking, I'm thinking, why am I also friends with you as well? Why is it that I choose to go deeper with the people that I go deeper with? And it's because I'm learning, and still learning, still developing, still understanding this, because it's not I don't want to minimize it and make it a small thing when I'm understanding it's actually way bigger than I thought. It's the fact that I trust in your relationship with God. So it's not because you cook really nice, it's not because you comment on my Instagram post with the most hearts and the heart eyes or the fire emojis. It's not that. It's I'm trusting in your relationship with the Lord. That is not the only thing, because you have people that you want to be friends with because you find them funny, you have things in common, you relate on certain things, outside of Christ, right? But that is a big pointer, because people talk about relationships and I want a man of God, oh, I want a woman that can pray and all these things, and that's amazing. But why is it that we don't ask for those things when we're looking out for friendships? Don't you think that would help a lot of the time? And this is also not to say that I don't even have friends that aren't in Christ. It's friends that I've had for a long time, and I'm not in the business of discarding people to the side just because I'm growing deeper in my faith or anything like that. No. But I'm talking about, these friendships that I'm now developing because God is placing me in these new spaces, where I'm meeting a lot more people of the faith and stuff. So I'm looking for, whether or not, your relationship with Christ. And I also believe that, you know, your relationship with Christ, we can develop that together. I have one friend, like, oh my God, she knew me when I literally was like a baby Christian, just started out in my faith because we sort of went to the same church together. So it's like we've grown and developed together, and it's like we've grown, and I've just seen the change in her and she has seen the change in me, and it's like we're trusting so much in our relationship with God, with one another, because we've had conflict. That's the thing, like, you know, that's the thing when your relationship is rooted in Christ. It's like, it doesn't mean that you have a perfect friendship. I'm not like delusional. I'm not asking for a perfect friendship. Like, I'm not even asking for a perfect person. Like, I'm not a perfect person, you know. But what I am asking for is that you have the ability to try, you know, you try to be a good friend. You try to put aside your own interests for me. You know, it's nice when you can see that somebody's genuinely made an effort for you. You know, it's really, really nice. Like, and it's not things that you necessarily like always like looking out for, but come on, you see it when somebody does something for you and it doesn't even serve them at all. There's no thing within them that's like, okay, if I do this, they'll do that, you know. And it's really nice having a friendship where it's balanced. You know, I was talking about that, up and down, up and down, but that doesn't mean that within your friendship there doesn't come seasons where you need to pour more into them than they're pouring into you. You know, that's one thing that I'm learning and understanding. There's actually times where, you know, I've had to pour more into my friends, and my friends have had to pour more into me because I'm going through a hard season or they're going through a hard season. You know, it's a mutual thing because we're both putting in an effort. It's like, you know, we always hear all the time, be the change that you want to see or be the friend that you want to receive. And a lot of the time, why it's hard. Yeah, I'm gonna go with this. It's hard to do that because change actually has to come from you. As in, you have to do something. Because a lot of the time, like, I realize, like, we can talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. I'm talking right now, you know. And a lot of you probably don't know me, so it's like, you know, it's like I'd be lying, right? Just gotta trust me. But I'm not. So yeah. So when it comes to like friendship, it's like you have to put in an effort. You have to put in an effort. Love isn't a fuzzy, warm feeling, okay? It's not. It's not. That's what media, that's what the romantic comedies would have you believe, but it is not. It is not we flurry off into the sunset like a Disney film, and you never get to see what happens in the happily ever after. This is, you see what happens in the happily ever after. You're seeing the graft, you're seeing the grind, you're seeing the actual, like, you know, work being done. So it's not always pretty. It's not always looking great. Sometimes it is ugly. Sometimes it is raw. Sometimes it is raw conversations that you're having with your friends. But essentially, what I want to conclude on is be the friend that you want to receive, but also understand that there's something that comes from you. There is something that comes from you. You know, there is something that you have to, there is a lot, or not something, there is a lot that you have to do. You have to be selfless. You know, like, obviously I could go and then read all of this, love suffers long and is kind, does not envy, which I'm going to refer you back to 1 Corinthians 13 verse 4 to 7. I'm going to refer you back to that. But it is so much of doing that is listing here. But the thing is, when you also have a relationship with Christ at the same time, it also says that, you know, we take upon his yoke because it is light and it is easy. A yoke is basically like it's like two cows, you know, and you put like a wooden thing on them, and that's I think that's the yoke. Yeah, that's a yoke. So it's like two cows and they're walking and they're walking and they're walking. So if one cow is bigger, the yoke is more on the bigger cow because the other cow might be smaller, or if the, you know, vice versa. So it's like you need two balanced cows in order for it to remain balanced. But the thing is with Christ is that with him we can take upon his yoke because it is light and it is easy, and he actually takes on the full brunt of all of our problems, of all of our issues, of all of like whatever ugliness, whatever we're coming with. He takes all of it on himself, and we don't have to carry a hard load of his because he's already done that. You know, his yoke is light, he promises us peace. So it's like, it's not a thing where you put in all this effort, basically is what I'm trying to say. You're not putting all this effort in and it's like, oh, like I'm so overwhelmed, I'm just being so selfless and so sacrificial, I'm just being a sweet little baby lamb. And it's like lol. You know, I'm just being a sweet little baby lamb. And it's like, you know, you're doing all of these things, but it's like when you know Christ, you can actually go back to him, and it's like you have all of this and give him back the load. It's like, here you go, like I've just been taking all of this on me, taking all this on me. Here you go, just give it all to him, give it all to him. And what he leaves you with is freedom. What he leaves you with is peace, which is why, again, I made this reference a little bit earlier. We're not, guys, we need to walk in heal. English is even free. We need to walk as healed people. We need to walk as people that have been healed. You know, you're not walking with that chip on your shoulder from that friendship that you experienced that hurt you. We need to heal from those things and begin to look forward, because if you allow that experience to continue to shape the way that you view friendships or people, you stop yourself from being able to meet just that one friend that God has put in your life for a specific reason to teach you stuff. I had a friend, this friendship of mine, it taught me a lot about myself, but it also showed me great things. And just, you know, anyway, I'll speak about that another time a lot more. But yeah, essentially that is what I'm saying. And I think I'm gonna just end it here. I don't know how long this video is. And I hope it's been interesting for you guys to hear. I hope you guys have enjoyed so far what I've been saying. Like, just like never stop talking. Okay. Okay.